Well, a little bit ago, I was asked by a friend of mine to take a look at one of his customers' cork and pump setups because it is a gear-driven Z4500, just like mine, and they needed some information, needed a little bit of help getting some documentation on it and needing to know what it's going to take as far as service for this gear drive. Well, you get over there, and this is a much newer setup than what mine is. My gear drive is a Viking. It's a very simple gear drive, and it just requires that I change the oil once a year with a 5W30 motor oil. Is all it takes. Well, this one is a little more complicated. So, like I said, it's much newer. It's manufactured by Nord, N-O-R-D. And this is what it is up there. It's a Nord block helical gearbox. Well, their customer had lost the manual, so they didn't have any paperwork for it at all. And so they were kind of in the dark and they wanted to find some stuff and learn all they could about it. So I reached out to my friend Don Crowder at Corkin, and because it's a little confusing trying to find it on the Nord website. Now that I know where to go, it's really easy. And so in this video, or down or below this video in the description, we're going to have a link to the nord.com website where you can find the manual. I've also got a link to Mobile Oil, and then a link to Imperial Supplies or Granger, where you could buy this mobile gear oil that's specified for it. Well, when we get down in there and we started looking into it, it is, like I said, it's a Nord block helical gearbox. You want manual. The manual, the Nord manual, is B as in Bob 1000. Like I said, if you go to that link in there, it'll take you right to it. But if you go to nord.com, click on documentation, and then it'll open up a new window, and then there's a section down in there for manuals. You click on manuals, and then there's a search bar, just type in B1000 and it'll pull this up. It's a massive manual. It covers I think all their gear drives. It's 180 plus pages thick manual. Well, we don't need all of that, of course. Well, but we do need specific information, or my friend needed specific information out of that. So if you go to pages 34, 35, 49, and 50, it'll have in there, it'll talk about oil changing intervals, and then it goes into the specifications that they have on oil. Oil changing intervals, Nord, it's kind of they don't want to get too specific. Like my Viking gear drive, you change it once a year. That's what you do. Well, the Nord can go into so many applications. They recommend that you take oil samples, and then they give a list of different contamination amounts, and then you can base your oil changes on that. Otherwise, they recommend that with this type of oil, otherwise you make your oil change once every 4 years with that. Well, the oil that they specify is Victor George 220 Syn PAOEP, which is a synthetic polyalpha olefin with EP additive. And they give a list of 5 manufacturers, that produce the kind of oil that they want to see. Well, in my area, for me, and my sales contacts and everything, is Mobile Oil. So that's why I put the link in there for mobileoil.com, and then you can read about this mobile. And it's asking for VG220 oil, and the data plate on the Nord specifies SHC 220 oil. Well, when you go look at mobile, the mobile number the oil number, is a Mobil 630. Well, you read all the specifications of that Mobil 630, and it is everything that Nord wants. So it was a little confusing, and I'm grateful to my friend Ben Hendrickson at Imperial Supplies, you know, to help me out there to make sure we got the right one, make sure everything was good, and it was. And the price is expensive. It's very expensive stuff, especially now. This is 2023, and we're still in an inflated economy, and so things are. It is expensive, but each gear drive takes about 2 quarts, and you can only buy it in a 5. At least that's all we found. You can only buy it in a 5-gallon pail, and each gear drive takes 2 quarts. So spend a lot of money, but it's going to last you for a long time. Anyway, we had a little bit of trouble with that, getting everything clarified, and you know, my friend did, and so now he's got his customer all squared away. And I found this interesting, and I wanted to share that with you in case you have something similar. If you know, interested in something like that, going on the Mobil website and finding their oils or different oils and different specifications, I found that very helpful as well. So hopefully you found this informative and helpful. Thank you.